Hey, howdy! I'm back. We're doing some more Yumatuki. Let's cut right to the chase. I want to keep doing the Eurana grind? It feels weird to call going through any of these worlds a grind, but Dreadful City is a bit of a headache to get through, so I want to hit the ground running so I can get through it and get to the areas that I haven't seen before. It has been a long time since I've been to this world. Maybe less than I'm thinking of. I do still really like that entrance animation. It was amazing. Whoa. This is a percentage chance thing, right? I believe I kind of just want to leave and come back so that this isn't happening so I can actually tell where I'm going. It might be variable 44. If it's variable 44 and it just happens a second time, so be it. I can just wander around in the sand and the dust. Please? Okay, it's variable 44. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so down a little bit and then left. There's like a set of pillars here. I ended up giving a presentation for one of my classes today, and I'm gonna be real, I did okay. I could have done better. I was also not to dog on the other people that were giving presentations. I was not the best one there. I was also not the worst one there, which frankly is not a that's even worse than if I was just one or the other. Because you have to deal with both feelings consecutively of damn, mine was not the best, and also feeling bad for the person where the professor had to stop them and be like, okay, we need to move on. And my professor's a nice dude too, but it's just like that just sucks whenever it happens. Because there was a miscommunication. I think what ended up happening is there was a miscommunication on how long they needed to be. So all of us, myself included, made the presentation way too long, so he had to keep cutting us off. Which, you know, isn't ideal. But that is the last deliverable I think I need to give besides the final report, which is, I think, a video and a research paper in big fat air quotes. It's just a write-up of what we did. So that'll be fun. But I mean, hey, apart from that, once I have that finished, that's due next Wednesday, I think, I will be completely done with one of the classes. And then from there, I got what's the word for it? I got a take-home final that is due it's due Sunday, I think. And then that final report is due on Wednesday, and then my actual in-person final is on Thursday. It is a lot, but it's only 3 classes. I am so beyond happy that I only have 3 classes this semester, because every other semester I've had way more classes and way more work, and I'm tired, boss. There's no other way to put it. I'm tired. I want it to be done. I want to do other things. But I've talked too much about school and about work. But I don't know, there's not a whole lot for me to really talk about recently. Because, politics usually off the table, because I don't know, I'm pretty sure y'all don't want to hear that, and even if you did, it's like, I always feel weird about bringing up current events and politics and that kind of stuff, because unless it's something that's really insightful, it's gonna age like crap no matter what I say in that regard. Like, you know, I could talk for like an hour or so about something Republican Party, something Donald Trump, and I don't know. I'm thinking long term here. Like, no matter what happens, I'm confident we'll get through it. And in the process, I don't really want to sully the content that I have at the moment in favor of, I want to get angry at this thing that's currently happening, because the current things will stop happening eventually, as do all things. Not to say that people shouldn't talk about them, but this isn't really a space for it. But it's always weird to think of conversation topics for these, because I do... To give a little bit of white space about this, I do think about the conversation topics that I'll talk about in these videos, like, a decent amount. More than you'd think, but also less than you'd think. I don't have, like, an entire script in front of me. I've tried to attune my skills at yapping, so that eventually I can just do this for any game I'm playing. Tuki is generally really good for that, because there's not a lot I'm really doing here. I'm walking around and exploring cool areas, and every once in a while I go like, oh, that's cool. But it's relatively low investment, so I can concentrate on like, mulling over things that have happened during the day, and also just like elucidate occasional funny things. Is this the right way? I don't remember being on a boat before. Static area. Static area? I think I'm going the wrong way, but I kind of want to see where this leads. But yeah, I've been kind of... I don't know, I've been kind of burnt recently. Not burnt out per se, but definitely burned. Like, not a lot of... I don't really have a lot of energy. But at the same time, I am technically making progress on a lot of things, and I'm, like, appreciating those things as they come up. Now, the hope is that once I'm done with school, once I have that, like, month-long gap before I start work full-time, I can, like, recharge my batteries and do a bunch of things I haven't done before. I'm like, trying to institute a policy for myself of new media consumption. Like, every day or every other day, I'm gonna hold myself to watching a new thing, reading a new thing, like, consistently try to keep that up, because I feel like it'll be good for my mental health to just, like, see and do new things, because I think I mentioned this before, but I've noticed about myself that whenever I'm depressed, I like to rotate the same I'm just gonna say it, the same 6 or 7 things in my mind. I'll just rotate them over and over again. The same games, the same, like, movies, music. Ooh. Oh, cool. What is going on in this picture? Is this a shot of the city? Oh, wait, I'm actionable. Now where does this lead? Oh, it pops back out. Okay, interesting. So hang on. 2 to 6. 2 to 6? Okay, so 2 is the static area. Is there anything else? 2 to 3. Huh. So this leads back to the static area then, I imagine. So 2, and then to 3. And 3 is this huge area over here. 3 leads to 4. 4 is, I guess, that area where you walk down and then get jump scared by the static? Let's see. Yeah, okay, so it leads back here, and then this plays the static sequence again. And there we go. Oh, and it's C. I see. So C, B, and A are all connected to collaged complex, which is where I initially came in from. Is this key operable? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then 6 pops back up here, and then I can just use the boat to go back. Cool. Cool. That's neat. Because I will say, I saw someone, not to call specific people out, obviously, but I thought this was worth talking about. There was someone in the comments who was mentioning how they didn't like specific areas that, like, they log on or they, like, watch my videos and they see a specific, just, like, a huge sprawling area and it just bugs them to no end. And to a certain extent, I agree. But there's it's so bizarre to describe this game's target audience. Like, when you think about when the people who are making Yumituki, who are they actually making the game for, it's kind of hard to pin down. Because, you know, Tuki is such a complex... It's such a unique and weird and complex game. It's kind of hard to ascribe to one group. Because something that I have noticed in terms of, like, media I've consumed, especially more recently, is there's this tendency for more modern media to attach itself to a specific community, and then from then on, the work is now an extension of that community. And this is kind of the, not to say this is explicitly a bad thing, but early access has not done this mentality any favors, and has, like, propagated it pretty heavily, of the beta tester and the community member are now one and the same. And this is unfortunately also seeped into AAA development, but now instead of community members being beta testers, it is more, we are shipping a game that is not finished so that the community can tell us what's broken and we can fix it. Which is its own conversation. But it makes Tuki that much more interesting because it isn't really like that. There's a very, very small amount of creators that actively interface with the online community. Like, I guess the only one that I can think of that, like, went out of their way to do content related to Unity Online, I guess, was Bean, because of the stuff with, like, there was stuff with, like, Nova that there is no way that would have been in the game without Unity Online being a thing. But then every once in a while there will be something that was explicitly designed to be a bit sillier. Like the addition of the teleport masks, that was very much designed to be silly and like an online feature. And the expansion of the mask shop in general. But at the same time, Tuki is not really designed around... Like, that doesn't necessarily imply that Tuki is designed for the people that are playing this online only. like, it pampers this side of the community a little bit, but at the end of the day, this is meant to be a single-player experience. And it's meant to be it has a very unique, and I don't even know how to describe the vibe of this game, but it is... Can I just say that this is one of the greatest games I've ever played in my life, and I don't think anything's going to come close, and it's because of that weird clash. Also, I went the wrong way. This is Toxic Sea. Actually, I'm back where I started, essentially. It's no problem. Well, the goal today is to make it to, like... I don't know. What is the next connection here? Because it's Dreadful City. One moment. Dreadful City, and then my next goal is Watching Forest. Watching Forest to Ethereal Lagoon. Ethereal Lagoon... yes, that's still the closest connection. I think it's Crimson Drains next. Crimson Drains also has no other connections. And then to Sprite Lake. Sprite Lake doesn't have anything. Kaleidoscope also, I don't think, has anything, because it's a one-way path. Alright. So, no matter what, if I want to visit Kaleidoscope, I have to go through this whole path anyway. So I'm not too chuffed about having to do this all again. Hang on. Scoop my phone so that it's not on the same part of the desk where my mic is. But there's such a unique clash in the way that Tuki does, and its developers, like, do the things that they do. Because at the end of the day, it's an exquisite corpse. Like, it is designed so that it's different. It has multiple design philosophies, and they all clash. And they form this weird, beautiful dissonance of some people want to make worlds that are really almost plagiaristically accurate to Uniki. Other people want to take it in a completely bold and new direction, and other people, like, there's subsets of those kinds of authors that have different ways of going about that. There are some authors like Adiragop who have unique visual styles and value quantity over quality. Not to dog on Adiragop, of course, but Adiragop has by far the most maps of any creator in Tuki. There's others that value extremely dense and populated maps like QXY, Moriwo, and there's some that value style, there's some that value substance, there's different takes on what makes a Uniki fan game great. And it's so... I find that so wonderful. And you can get a little bit of everything. Okay, where the hell am I going? Hang on. C. C to B. What the hell's B? Oh, B to A. Oh, and A to Collage Complex. Okay. So where the hell am I going again? I think I was right to go up. We gotta get to the boat again. I literally did this a couple of days ago and I already forget where I'm going. But yeah, that is the aspect that I like the most about Tuki. However, there is... You know, it's the classic thing. If you get to experience so many different viewpoints, that doesn't mean all the viewpoints will match yours. So you end up with a lot of situations of... this author has a very specific way that they like to make their worlds, and that can clash with other people's visions. Now, it doesn't mean it has to be like an acrimonious thing. Sometimes people just like making worlds differently, and that's the extent of it. But especially when it comes to the hiding, like the way that the game should be played with respect to secrets. That's usually where a lot of trouble comes in. Because there are some authors that really, really like secrets, and also, not to be mean, they're kind of bad at hiding secrets in a way that is satisfying. And it's funny, I was watching someone play Sam and Max hit the road a couple days ago, and this came up. There's this tendency with point-and-click adventure games to have a sort of whimsy to their puzzles, if that makes sense. Like when I ended up playing Day of the Tentacle a couple months ago, and I had a similar experience of like, some of these solutions don't make sense unless you were literally in the boardroom when they were designing it. So you end up with this. You end up with this like. It's almost like that image of Squidward looking out at SpongeBob and Patrick playing outside. It's like you have a very specific perspective of how you want your art to be perceived, but then there's also everyone else who is experiencing your art. And at that point, whether or not they see your art the way you see your art, it's a flip of the coin, it's a roll of the dice. And there's some people that believe that authors have the most power when it comes to interpreting their stories. There's some that believe that the reader does. And there can be arguments back and forth over that. But very similar issues come up, like for the most striking example in Tuki is probably Spaylude. But there's other ones, other creators that have very, very cryptic puzzles like Mapsuki. But Spaylude has a very specific way that she wants puzzles to be done, and has gone so far as to go out of her way to make sure that the solutions weren't published on the wiki, which kind of annoyed some people. I didn't mind it that much personally. It's like if the authors want something taken off the wiki, they can just ask, and the people who run the wiki will just do it. It's the same reason why a lot of the background music got pulled. It's not some acrimonious thing. But it turned into a whole discussion of like, what really, like, are the puzzles satisfying enough that they warrant going out of your way to make them difficult to look up the answers to? And the reason why I brought up Sam and Max before is that I ended up saying in the comments of the video that Unity fan games are essentially point-and-click adventure games. In a way, bear with me. So, when it comes to point-and-click adventure games, they have a very specific way of motivating puzzles, because they don't really motivate a lot of their puzzles. There's a very simple request that the game gives you. Most of the time. There are point-and-clicks that are wildly complicated. Most of the time, the question is very simple. It's just, fix my time machine, or solve this murder. And there are little subtasks that it gives you. But after a certain point, you really don't have to care about the solution. Because the solution isn't why you're playing the game. You're playing the game for the peripheral things, to like enjoy the good music, to take in like some funny dialogue or like interesting character designs. You're not really there for the gameplay itself, because the gameplay is very dry and can be frustrating. Because, you know, a lot of the games that were became popular virtual novels. A lot of games that became popular point-and-click adventure games originated from the same engine, the Scum engine, which I want to say was a LucasArts creation? I think it's LucasArts, yeah. Because I think if I remember correctly, the pecking order is LucasArts first, then Sierra, and then Telltale. And Telltale kind of picked up the pieces when LucasArts moved on to doing things that weren't point-and-clicks, and Sierra basically went dormant/bankrupt. Right, this is a part... I forgot about this. This is the part that I got lost. At least it lets you set bat points. But yeah, what I was saying is there's this... Yumaniki and its fan games have almost a similar sensation. Most of the time, you are not playing a Yuminiki fan game because it has compelling gameplay. Where the hell am I going, by the way? I kind of just been poked at a wall. If I hold right, where do I go? I'm outside the bounds of the map, I think. Oh. Perhaps not? What is this? Is it like is this like a computer terminal? It's like it's a big like server box. That's something. And did I literally go out of bounds? Is that what this is? Okay, this is the reason why I use the bat point in case of shenanigans like this. Is there any... Yeah, there's no map for this area. So where am I actually? Dreadful City leads to Watching Forest. Where's the map for Watching Forest, if there is one? Doesn't look like there is one. But this is... Admittedly, this is where games like this actually do get frustrating, is big, aimless maps that are just mazes for the sake of being mazes. But again, that point-and-click comparison, there's that, to use a slightly tasteless term, there's that logic of crackhead logic for point-and-click games. That the answers just simply don't make sense, and they only would have made sense if you were the person that made the puzzle. So you kind of just have to walk around and examine things until it decides to make sense. Sounds a lot more like a Yuminiki fan game when I put it like that. I wonder if the eyes are supposed to be some hint for where I'm going. I assumed that was why that path was non-solid, but, like... Presumably there's not anything else. Maybe this leads somewhere. The music... Oop. No. I was about to say, the music is fading out. No, it isn't. It just is very, very slightly more quiet. Okay. I want to take a picture of this. That is very cool. Big butterfly. But I've come to terms with point and clicks in a certain respect, because I played Day of the Tentacle and I kind of hated it, because I think I was going in with the wrong mindset. I was going in with the mindset that I was going to be in and out very quickly, and I would be able to finish it in like a day, give or take. And that just wasn't the case. The game is deeply... It's very difficult for a point and click, because there are essentially 3 different inventories you have to keep track of. And a lot of solutions that straight up don't make sense. Like, the one that made me, like, actually slam the table was, there was a puzzle of, I think it was the Founding Fathers. It's like, the general plot is that there's a group of 3 friends, it's the same people from Maniac Mansion, previous game. And they're working with evil scientists, because reasons. Evil scientist sends the 3 of them back in time. One of them goes to the past, one to the present, one to the future. Or one of them stays in the present, I suppose. One goes to the past, one goes to the future. The one that goes to the past is, like, waiting for the Founding Fathers, I think? And there's some hint, I believe, that they're, like, waiting for it to rain, and he'll get here once it starts raining. And so the solution, and this annoyed me to no end, the solution is to go out to the car. There's a car parked out in the driveway. And after a long series of events, you'll get, I believe it was like a bucket full of soap and a rag. And you have to just try to start washing the car. And then as soon as you start, it will start raining. And that's when Benjamin Franklin shows up. Like, cartoon logic times, like, 7. Because already it's kind of a trite joke as it is. It's just, oh, you know, everyone knows that once you start washing your car, it's about to start raining. But then to use that as a puzzle solution is just, come on, dude. Like, it just sucks. Okay, I'm here again. Is there... Did I miss anything last time, or is this just a cool area? I don't know. Oh. Is that a tiling error, or am I actually supposed to be able to go in here? Whatever I did, I guess it worked. There we go. I'm already over time, but if I can make it to the next area at least, I will be happy. And it'll be relatively easy to pick up where I left off. It's not over here. God, this... There's no way that's how you're supposed to do it. This area is nice. I do like it. Ooh, finally.
Every time, if I made it to do list, last time I got this, right after the list, you list, wasted all the money and everything.
Ooh. Holy smokes. Whoa. I really hope this isn't a Cosmic World situation. Oh, it totally is. Ugh. This area is nice. I just am a little... I'm a little lost as to where I'm going. That's part of the fun, right? Getting lost in a sea of whatever the hell this is. Feels relatively linear, at least. I don't know how you can make it... I'm scared to even say this. I don't know how you would make an area like this have places where you can get lost. Because there's so many boundaries. It's like, generally, there's just one way to go. Though, knowing maps like this, I have been proven wrong before. Nah, there we go. God, rainy bridges again. Evil. Evil area. Ooh, wait. This is fun. Kind of reminds me of the, like, the Aztec iconography from Yumaniki. Wonder if that was intentional. Huh? What just happened? Hang on. Oh, there we go. I somehow stumbled around without finding the exit there. That's where the color changed. And I know that these areas can be a little confusing at times, but there's so much map here. Oh, hello. There's so much map here, and I love that. Like, we are a little... We are slightly spoiled for choice when it comes to these big, sprawling areas that... And if not for Tukey, would have just been their own damn fan games. Ooh, cool. The hell? That's awesome. I need to start doing shorter episodes again, jeez. Like, we've still got a while. Hopeful that this doesn't just lead where I was. Doesn't look like it so far. Is there anything here? This is just... all that's over here is a trash can. I don't know what to even think of these, because this is... I mean, categorically, this is not Rainy Bridges. There have been, like, 3 areas that are technically Rainy Bridges because they're in the map ID, but they aren't actually Rainy Bridges. This is also such a cool visual. What the hell? Let me try... Maybe I can get, like, a shot of this without my little feet. I can do something like that, and then just cut them together. We're making it out of... I was about to say, we're making it out of Rainy Bridges with this one. Don't count your chickens. I might have to go back here in yet another sub-area. Sprite Lake, yes! Okay, we're almost there. I'm gonna set another bat just in case. Thank you. I was so worried. Ooh. This is fun. It's like a frozen over version of Nocturnal Grove. If that's intentional, that's really cool. And even if it's not, that's still really cool. Ooh. Is this it? Is this Kaleidoscope? It's a slow fade to white. I think this is Kaleidoscope. Or... is it? It's a slow fade to something. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like this one bit. Where are you taking me? Is there something I have to do here? This is, like, mildly upsetting. Oh. If this is a wake-up event, I'm gonna cry. Ooh. Holy shit. I love the little, like, I love the Yumaniki guy back there. Kaleidoscope has got to be close then. 'Cause I don't know what else that could have been. And there we go. Ooh, the camera pan. These visuals. Oh my god, these visuals. Look at that. Supposedly there's a menu theme here, and all I'm gonna say is I hope it's not easy to miss. Oh, it's like a big crystal! Wait. There we go. There's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to take a screenshot of this without Murasuki. I'm just gonna take a picture. 109. That was fun. I quite liked that route. And we made it through to the end. All in all, I feel like that went well. So yeah, maybe tomorrow, or next time I record, will probably be a little bit shorter, because that took like an hour, yeah? No, 45 minutes. Not that bad then. But yeah, that's all I got for now then. Thanks so much for watching, y'all.